That night, love didn't ask for permission, it quietly took control of our hearts. My name is Jessica, and this is the story of a night I never planned but will never forget. It started as an ordinary evening. The sky was cloudy, the streets were calm, and my mind was tired from a long day. I wasn't expecting anything special. I was just waiting for time to pass, for life to feel lighter. Then Ethan called. "Can we meet?" he asked. His voice sounded different, soft, unsure, honest. We met at a small cafe near the river. The lights were dim, the place was quiet, and soft music played in the background. We sat across from each other, holding warm cups of coffee, but neither of us drank much. Something important was sitting between us. We had known each other for months. Our connection was real, but unspoken. We laughed together, supported each other, and shared silence without discomfort. Yet that night felt different, heavier, deeper. Ethan looked at me and said, "Do you ever feel like you're standing on the edge of something important?" I nodded, "Yes, and it scares me." He smiled gently, "Me too." We decided to walk. The river reflected the city lights, and that cool air made everything feel sharper. We talked about life, about missed chances, past fears, and the things we never said out loud. Every word felt honest. Every pause felt meaningful. At one point, we stopped walking. Ethan turned toward me and said quietly, "I don't want to keep pretending this is just friendship." My heart raced, not from surprise, but from truth. "I don't either," I replied. That was the moment love took control, not loudly, not suddenly, but completely. There was no dramatic confession, no promises we couldn't keep, just two hearts choosing honesty over fear. He reached for my hand, slow and gentle, giving me time to pull away. I didn't. That touch felt different from anything before, and not because of excitement, but because of certainty. I felt seen, chosen, safe. We sat on a bench near the water, talking until the night grew quiet. We shared our boundaries, our hopes, and our worries. We didn't rush anything. We respected every feeling, every pause. Love that night wasn't about passion. It was about trust. When it got late, Ethan asked, "Are you okay?" I smiled. "I feel calm." He smiled back. "Me too." As we walked back, hand in hand, I realized something important. Love doesn't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it arrives like peace, quiet, steady, and impossible to ignore. That night didn't change everything at once, but it changed how we looked at each other, how we listened, how we stayed. From that night on, love didn't control us, it guided us. It taught us patience, it taught us courage, and it taught us that the most powerful moments are often the quiet ones. That was the night love took control, and neither of us wanted it any other way. That night gave birth to love, but every day after decided whether it would survive. After that night by the river, I thought love would feel magical every day. I thought my heart would stay light, my constant, my fear gone. But love does not live in dreams alone. It moves into reality. The days after that night felt different, not just deeper. Love followed us into crowded mornings, tired evenings, and busy schedules. It sat quietly beside us during long workdays and whispered questions into our hearts at night. At first, everything felt closer. Our messages carried warmth. Our voices sounded softer. Even silence between us felt meaningful. But slowly, reality began to test us. Ethan became busier. Work demanded more of his time. Some nights, our conversations were short. Some days, he replied late, not because he didn't care, but because life had entered the picture. My heart noticed everything. I told myself not to overthink, but love has a way of making you feel vulnerable. Small gaps felt larger. Silence felt heavier. I started wondering things I was afraid to ask. What if that night meant more to me? What if love fades once routine arrives? I smiled when we talked, but inside, questions grew. One evening, while sitting together quietly, I finally spoke. "Do you feel different after that night?" I asked softly. Ethan didn't answer right away. He looked away, then back at me. "Yes," he said, "I feel closer, but I also feel scared." "Scared of what?" I asked. "Of hurting you," he replied, "of not being enough." His honesty surprised me. I realized then that love had not made him distant, it had made him careful. He wasn't pulling away. He was afraid of failing something precious. That night, we talked for hours. We spoke about expectations, about fear, about how love brings both comfort and risk. We agreed on one thing: didn't want love to become a burden. We wanted it to be safe. Still, love tested us again. A few weeks later, a misunderstanding turned into an argument. It wasn't big, but emotions made it heavy. Words were spoken too quickly. Silence followed too slowly. That night, we didn't say goodnight. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering if love was supposed to hurt like this. Tears came quietly. I thought about walking away, about protecting my heart before it broke. But love doesn't grow in escape. The next morning, Ethan came to see me. His eyes looked tired, but determined. "I don't want silence between us," he said. "I don't want fear to control love." Those words broke my walls. We talked, we listened, we apologized, not to win, but to heal. That moment changed us more than the night by the river ever had. From then on, love became intentional. We learned each other's emotional language. I learned it when he needed space. He'll learn it when I needed reassurance. Love became calmer, steadier, stronger. Weeks turned into months. Our relationship no longer depended on one beautiful night. It was built on daily effort, checking in, showing up, staying present even when tired. Love stopped being exciting every moment and started being reliable. And that felt even better. One evening, we returned to the river, the place where everything began. The city lights reflected on the water. The air felt familiar, but we were different now, stronger, wiser. Ethan held my hand and said softly, "That night love took control of our hearts, but now I know love is also responsibility." I smiled, feeling tears in my eyes. That night gave us courage. The days after gave us strength. Love didn't control us blindly. It taught us how to choose each other again and again. And that is how love truly took control, not in one night, but in every quiet decision that followed.